All right, welcome back to the Tool World Podcast. I'm your host, David Jew, and I'm here with Master Jew.
Hello, Mr. Jew.
Hello. All right, so we're going to do a little bit of a spin-off of that specialty braking podcast we did, I don't know, maybe a couple months ago.
Okay.
We went through the different specialty brakes. And we also talked about, is there a specialty brake that we're interested in seeing? And just kind of for fun, right?
Right.
So we're going to go over power braking today. And we'll walk through maybe a couple of the different ones that we got and see what we got going on there. So
I'm thinking, but go ahead.
all right,
Tell
so
me.
let's go over the power brakes we have. We have like side piercing kick,
Okay.
pretty standard,
Yeah,
right?
standard.
You have outward knife hand strike,
Okay.
pretty standard.
Right.
Four fist punch,
Yeah.
turning kick,
Right.
and reverse turning kick.
No back kick?
No back kick.
Oh, that's interesting. Are those the 5 for tournaments
Yes.
at the ITF World Championship?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, within our organization. Other organizations, you guys might do something else.
Right.
Right? Now, so what are we looking at for power braking? Firstly, I mean, what is the criteria?
Power. How much
Power, yeah, how much you can brake.
How much could I destroy at
Yeah.
one time?
Right.
Yeah, I think there's some interesting techniques that could be added. I mean, so what you just listed are really what we do at a international competition. They've identified those as the power brakes.
Yes.
Can we do other ones? And I think yes, I think we can.
Okay.
Well, which one do you want to add in there?
Well, I think if you look at it, so you have like side piercing kick, that's just a kick.
Right.
You have reverse turning kick, which is a spinning kick.
Right.
You have punching. You have
Right.
striking.
Okay.
And then you also have a turning kick, which is kind of a snapping kind of kick.
Right.
So a side piercing kick's not a snap, right? So the turning kick's a snapping type of kick, right? So if you look at those different categories, they're actually one of each different one.
Okay.
So I'm going to start off with saying a thrusting technique, because you have punching, striking, and
Thrusting?
thrusting.
Yeah. So for sure, we don't have as a competition. You see them as demonstration, like flat fingertip thrust. Mm-hmm. Have you ever seen anyone?
I did see a video recently. Someone was breaking that.
Broke their hand? No, they didn't break their that's not an easy technique. Even one board, it's not something. I saw a demonstration, I think it was, someone broke 4 boards, flat fingertip thrust,
Okay. Wow.
on the video.
Yeah.
It was like, I think it was like a 4th degree trying to do it and they couldn't get it in the master instructor.
Yeah.
Move
Yeah.
out of the way.
Okay.
And then boom. And wow, okay.
You have to practice that.
You gotta practice
Yeah.
that. But there's a thrusting, right?
Or like a back elbow thrust. I could step into it.
Back elbow
You could
thrust.
probably break.
Hit the funny bone.
Yeah.
Ow.
You probably break
Ow.
a decent amount. You know,
could
not
break.
a lot, but
Yeah. What other thrusting techniques? So like a
not many thrustings actually, because they're designed to
side
cut
thrusting
into
kick.
it.
Yeah, it's a cut to a vital area. So you're making the target really, the attacking tool very small, cutting into the vital area is kind of what the identification of that. And there's like not much of a twist of the attacking tool.
Right.
I can definitely see like the hand technique. I'm not sure if you could do the thrust on the kick so much.
All right. Well,
Maybe.
that was just my
That's
thinking.
interesting.
You know.
Yeah.
Of different
But there's a
categories
lot
that
of.
there are.
But you think about power braking, I always think of like how much can you destroy?
Right.
I mean, so you could add the thrusting. But so
That's
speed
just-
brakes would be awesome, right?
Okay.
Suspended. That is kind of a power brake in a way. Like I remember Grandmaster Sabri, he had like 4 boards. They were taped up and was hanging by a string, and he punched it. It went flying, and it's got it didn't break, did it? It went over to pick it up, and they were broken. I
Oh,
was like,
wow.
wow, that was amazing break. The speed brakes are kind of cool, I think.
Yeah.
I saw one lady held 2 boards, I think it was, right next to her, and she did this high twisting kick. By just holding it herself.
Yeah.
It's like, oh wow.
Right.
That's a pretty nice break.
Yeah.
You know, and to break 2 boards like that, I mean, it's already kind of hard. If you're already, how many 5 people holding a single board for
Yeah.
a twisting kick and then thunk, thunk. It's like, and it's really low. It's like, oh man.
Yeah, yeah,
Talk about
true.
technique there.
yeah,
We talked about
Yeah.
that in another podcast about
Right.
what is the standard of a technique.
right.
And so when you, yeah, I mean, not to deviate, but you go back to that other podcast and you talk about the standard of a technique, and you just like, well, if you can't do certain things, then where's your standard there?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, that's true.
And no, I can't do a twisting kick
Yeah.
like that. I think elbow strikes are kind of cool. You know,
Yeah.
like a front elbow strike, it's in the forearm.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
those.
I thought you meant for yourself because you couldn't get your leg up high enough.
Yeah, when
That's-
did that
that's what I
start?
thought
That
that's-
started when I was about 55 after
Yeah.
I have a hip replacement.
Yeah.
I don't know, some people are doing really well with hip replacement.
I don't know. All right. Well, I think also another.
That's another podcast.
Yeah,
Injuries.
Injuries. I think a reverse knife.
all the
hand
injuries
would-
that I
Oh my god.
you can't even count them on my hands. Anyway, go ahead.
I think a reverse knife hand.
Reverse knife
Inward
hand.
knife hand.
That
Yeah,
reminds me of trying to break 2 boards with a reverse knife hand.
Okay.
That was not good. I think I was a red belt.
Yeah.
And I tried so many times. My hand ended up getting real swollen.
Yeah.
I had to go to the doctors, and it was finals. And I was in college. I could barely write.
Oh man.
That was not good.
Okay.
So when you break, you want to make sure they break.
Yeah. Right.
you know?
Right.
You don't want to be
Right.
broken.
How about a flying power?
You know
breaking?
another hard technique
What's that?
is that back fist.
Yeah, but I could see someone just breaking their hand. That's what I was thinking. Because I was thinking the same thing.
Right. I
You
mean,
know,
like
I mean, it's just-
Grandmaster Wheatley's, he's kind of known for being a power breaker. I remember he came and visited. Well, how many boards would you like on this? You want to do a back fist side?
Yeah.
Back fist strike, sir? And how many boards? Would you like me to put up 6 or something? And it's like, no, maybe 4.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
4. But you got to know your limitations
Yeah.
too.
Right. Right.
You know, these guys that do these power breaking, they're just like, yeah, let's just do it. But if you never even done 2 boards or 3 boards, don't go for 6 or 8 or
Yeah.
10.
Right,
You got to
right.
build up to it.
Right. Yeah. so-
Anyway, I'm sorry. I
Yeah.
interrupted you.
Go ahead. I was
tell
gonna
me.
say, what do you think about a flying a flying power breaking?
Well, isn't that specialty breaking? Because
Well, no, specialty is going for like height. So like if I do a flying
Oh,
back
yeah,
kick,
yeah.
you know,
a flying overhead kick.
yep, you could do that. Jump
Yeah.
over. Yep. How many can you break?
How many can break?
But I think it has to be on that board holder because you're trying to break a lot, right?
Right.
So what about like a flying reverse?
Yeah, it's hard to hold like 10 boards with your hands.
Right. Right.
You kind of need
Right.
a holder for that.
Right. But I'm just saying, right? Like flying power breaking,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Be cool. Mm-hmm. I don't know. How many have you seen someone do? Now that you think about it. No, I think if you put up on a board holder, you can still do a lot. Jump up and do like a flying side piercing kick. I think you can still do it.
Yeah.
Well, we don't see a lot of other techniques. I mean, like we mentioned elbows, about knee strikes. You got about those? You
Yeah.
know, massive amount of boards on
Yeah,
that. Or
I don't know who's
cement
gonna hold
tile.
that, though.
How about the head strikes? Now, Grandmaster Sabri used to do that. And, ouch. I think that we banned that, though. It's not good for the brain.
Yeah, probably not.
I don't know. Do you have any other ideas? How about a power shoulder break?
Now you're just getting ridiculous here.
Power bottom break. How many boards can you do with a downward kick? Downward kick's not easy.
No, it's not.
So when
but
we talk-
again, it's who's holding that board.
Right, but so the question I would have is when we talk about power breaking, is it based on how many boards you can break? Is there a minimum?
Yes, there has to be a minimum. In a competition sense, it does have to.
Right, but I mean, if you could say 4 boards downward kick, and you get a 9-year-old black belt. Do
Yeah.
we have a 9-year-old black? No, we don't
No,
have a 9-year-old
no.
black. But you get a junior black belt. Are they going to be able to do a power break in that?
Well, they wouldn't have that
They wouldn't have.
as that age, you know.
Right,
Because they're
I mean-
still
So too young.
Too young,
So
yeah.
one board, that could be a power break for them.
Right, right.
Right. Anyway, so how are we defining power breaking?
Yeah. Well,
I
let's
always
say-
think of it as how much can you break?
Yeah.
Massive,
Yeah.
massive amount.
Yeah. Let us know your guys' thoughts on power breaking and ones that you might want to see.
Sounds good to me.
All right. As always, don't forget to be safe,
Keep training.
and we'll see you guys next time.
Take one.